let's just say those three terrible words out loud that we all fear and get it out of the way. They copied me. And if you've been selling on Etsy for any amount of time, you've either said this already or you will. And it sucks. There's no other way to put it outside of adding in a few extra swear words. But we have to talk about the reality of it as online sellers. If you sell online long enough, whether it's Etsy, Amazon, TikTok, Shopify, or anywhere you're online or even running ads, you will encounter copycats. Love it or hate it, we live in an AI-driven technological age where recreating almost anything can happen with a single click. No one is immune. This can be absolutely horrifying to newer sellers when it happens the first time because no one really prepares you for it or for the feeling of being gutted when it happens. But if you're doing things right in terms of products and designing, at some point, you will create a bestseller, and bestsellers attract attention. People can see it, people can track it, and unfortunately, people can copy it. Is it right? No. Is it infuriating? Absolutely. But is it the reality? 100% yes. So let's talk about it. In case you haven't met yet, my name is Mandy. Think of me as kind of like your big sister in business who is fully obsessed with being an Etsy print-on-demand seller. In real life, I'm a busy boy mom and actively run multiple successful Etsy shops myself, but I am also on a mission to help creative entrepreneurs like you feel confident with designing, identifying profitable niches, and growing a successful business so that your products get seen, loved, and sold without inventory and without the overwhelm. Now, I've personally had copycats happen countless times in every single one of my shops where I've had sales, including one spectacular moment in particular where I was sending 30 plus takedowns in a single day for a design of mine that happened to go viral. This listing at one point contributed to over 400 sales in a single day, so it took all of about a nanosecond for people to figure out it was selling. From there, it was Etsy, TikTok, Shein, and Amazon, whack-a-mole. And of course, the repercussions of this are that sales for that design start to go down because what was once unique is now everywhere. But to be clear, it doesn't take a viral product for this to happen. Copycats will steal designs that have sold just a few times if they think they can make a few bucks off of it. It honestly doesn't take much. And again, no one is immune. But here's the part that might be even more surprising. This isn't just happening on simple products like apparel. I was naive to think that it mostly happened with more basic products like that, and that harder to replicate products like large tapestries might be less of an issue. But alas, no. Here we are. I currently have a popular tapestry design that's been copied either in part or in whole literally dozens of times, including copycats using the custom mockup that I had made for my shop. Now, the good news is that the Etsy algorithm is more trained towards quality listings. So since mine has a higher volume of sales and therefore more reviews, it still pops the top of many searches and still sells multiple times a day. But the point is, as it turns out, in an age of AI, you can literally recreate anything. This is great if you are a user and are trying to use AI or product research tools for good reasons, but where there is good, there is also bad. So much bad. So, what can you do about it? Yes, you can watermark your mockups. Yes, you can lower the resolution and tweak your listing photos. There have been lots of tricks in the book over the years. But with AI tools, those safeguards just don't go very far anymore. And yes, to be clear, you can also chase takedowns if you choose to. Etsy and most marketplaces have a reporting mechanism that make it relatively easy to file reports. You can even hire help to do it for you, but it's a burden that many of us simply choose not to bear. And the truth is, number one, it really makes much of a dent unless you have registered the design or phrase, like a trademark or registered copyright. A quick disclaimer here, certainly if you are creating handmade unique artwork or need brand protection or create specialty items, registration may be the direction you want to go. But for the designs that I'm making and selling on Etsy, not really worth it. And it would add up to thousands over time. And the reason I've moved away from takedowns is because of truth number two. Etsy isn't going to step in and play referee because it operates under DMCA safe harbor laws. And without getting into the legalese side of things, it basically just means that they will follow the steps of that law, which means the owner of the intellectual property, that's you, file the report. And unless you have a registration number, the person you are filing the report against can immediately counter. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because they know they can. Why? Because people who are doing bad things don't care. And they know that the only recourse for an unregistered design is for you to spend money to take them to court. They also want to prevent a bad mark on their shop. So even if they aren't planning to relist it, I can almost guarantee they will counter it in the system and make a quote, good faith claim of no wrongdoing, which means in 10 days, their listing can go right back up unless you have a court order. Again, the average Etsy person is not going to do that. And Etsy has followed what they need to do as a marketplace under that DMCA safe harbor ruling. And then truth number 3 is a little scarier than that because there is a more recent trend with this process that's even worse. Sellers who report others get counter-reported themselves. Yes, really. These are terrible people that will stop at nothing and will threaten real sellers with bogus claims against other listings. Don't even get me started on how bad that is. And if it happens to you, definitely get Etsy Legal involved. The point is, it's exhausting, it's messy, and it can even put your own shop at risk if you find yourself going toe-to-toe with another seller that really wants to dig their heels in, no matter how wrong they are. And trust me, they're out there because people in my private community have had to deal with them. And at some point, most of us hit a wall where we realize the emotional and mental cost just isn't worth pursuing it. Not the selling part, that is still absolutely worth it, but the fighting against things you can't control. This is where the shift has to happen. This isn't about giving copycats a pass or permission. This becomes instead about choosing where to focus your limited and valuable supply of time and energy, especially if you are a solo business owner. You absolutely have a choice. And only you can make that choice and decide what's right for you and your business. You can choose to spend your precious energy in the weeds, devoting hours chasing and fighting every copycat, getting angry and mad and frustrated and wanting to burn it all down. Or you can focus on what's actually within your control and where you could actually have a bigger impact. Because here's the truth that I had to learn the hard way. Chasing copycats will drain the joy right out of your business. Every minute I used to spend fighting someone who isn't even original enough to create their own designs is a minute I could have spent creating, improving, learning, or serving my real customers. Don't give your joy or your momentum to people who haven't earned it. So at some point along the way, I made a decision. I stopped giving copycats free rent in my head. They're not worth my peace. And it's okay to decide they're not worth yours either. Instead, I focus on number 1, creating new and better. In most cases, the copycats are junk shops that will disappear when the trend dies or they get bored or when the terrible reviews start coming in because their AI recreation results in a crappy print. Number 2, designing with a clear buyer identity. So my people keep coming to me. And I promise you, if you are clear on who you are creating for and you keep creating more opportunities for them to find you, they will keep coming back. And 3, making sure my customers know I'm the original. And that last one surprised me personally. When I had the whole viral design situation happen, I started including a simple statement in my shop information and descriptions that references that I am the original creator of my designs and that if they see it elsewhere, it's not the original. I've used this on tons of listings since then and actually had customers tell me directly that they saw a copy on TikTok or wherever, but then also looked on Etsy, saw my listing and my note, and bought from me because I clearly noted I was the original creator. Now, obviously, not all customers are going to do this or even pay attention. And again, you don't have to do this. None of it is guaranteed to stop a copycat, but it's something that I chose to do for my own peace of mind and sanity. And more importantly, it is something that you can control When you feel like someone else has stolen that control from you, you can lean into building trust, serving your customers, and staying focused on your lane. So, no, this doesn't mean copycats are okay. It doesn't mean you have to like it. And someday I do hope that there is a better way to fight this that doesn't come at such a high cost to original creators. But until then, it does mean you need to understand that it can and will happen to you, and you get to decide how much of your energy it gets. Because if you let it consume you, if you let it steal the joy from your business, you won't survive it. And that means they win. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to let them win. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. And if you have a horror story of your own, feel free to share it. And if you still find yourself in the phase of trying to figure out what to design, how to identify profitable niches, and how to actually turn these into products that sell, I'll link my Seen, Loved, and Sold series along with my 30-day growth guide video below. They're completely free and right here on my channel. In the meantime, stay focused, my friends. Keep taking action and never stop pursuing excellence in your business. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.